All right, we will get started. I will tell you really quickly, just before anything else, you are more than welcome to stand up and go get more food. You are welcome to raise your, no, you don't have to raise your hand. You're welcome to just shout things out. This is not formal or you don't have to be quiet or respectful because we are just here to celebrate my mom and laugh and have fun. So feel free to shout out anything you want at any time. You will not get in trouble. For those of you who don't know us, because I realize some of you may somehow not know Donna's children, I'm Abby. I am the youngest daughter. This is David. He married her. This is my sister Emily. She's older, but I'm taller. And that's our family. I know this is very non-traditional. We have full permission from a very non-traditional woman to have this type of party instead of a funeral. A year ago, we thought she was going, more than a year ago, we thought she was going to die any second. And so we wrote her obituary and we talked to her about what she wanted for her funeral. And we said, Mom, if you want a traditional funeral, like in a church and everything normal, we'll do that. If you want, though, as we have time to talk about and plan it, we could just have a party where your friends all come, eat a bunch of chocolate in your honor, we share stories, we laugh, we tell jokes, we just have fun. And my mom said, yeah, I think I like that better. And they don't have to wear pantyhose when they come. And she said, that sounds perfect. So we have complete permission for this. We had her body cremated and there was no hurry, so we took our time. She passed away on New Year's Day. And we just wanted to plan something fun to celebrate with you guys. When my mom was dying over a year ago, at first, I listened to a podcast interview with Jane Goodall, who is one of my favorite people. If you need a memory jog, Jane Goodall is the woman who was the conservationist scientist who lived with the chimpanzees when she was younger and did all the research with them and understanding about them. And she's almost 90 years old. And she was talking in this interview and she said that a reporter, because she's still traveling around raising money and awareness and stuff for her causes. And a reporter said, Jane, what is your next great adventure? And she said, you know what? I think it's dying. And she said that everyone kind of giggled uncomfortably, like they weren't quite sure what to say. And she said, I am a scientist. I've spent my whole life around death and biology, and none of us know what it's like until we go through it ourselves. And 10 years ago, I would have said some adventure, some other country, but honestly, it's dying and death now. She said, I've always wanted to know what comes, and she said, maybe we die. And there's nothing, and that's fine. She said, but I think that there is something after this life, and I'm so excited to see what it is. That is my next great adventure. And I remember telling my mom that quote and saying, Mom, you get to go on an adventure. You're the first one in our family to be able to go on this adventure. And isn't that exciting? And apparently she was not feeling adventurous because a year later she was still alive. But she did eventually take that great journey. And I'm just, one more thing. I just thank you all for coming. We had someone stop us in the hall the other day and say, are you going to have enough room in this great room here at Abington? Because do you have a lot of family coming? Is there going to be space? And my sister and I were like, no, we have no family coming other than our own children and spouses. My parents both moved from opposite sides of the country to Utah. We don't have traditionally big families. We count our relatives on less than one hand, and a couple of them are logged on over Zoom. And so hello to them, like Kathy, Donna's little sister. But my mom's family was you guys, was everyone in Syracuse, Utah, that she lived there for decades and loved. We didn't get together with big family groups. She loved the Syracuse Second Ward forever. So anyways, thank you so much for coming. We are going to have, it's untraditional, but my mom would want an opening prayer. So I asked Jolene to come and give an opening prayer, and then after Jolene gives an opening prayer, my sister is going to do the obituary for us. So, yay, Jolene, come pray.
Our dear Heavenly Father, as we gather this afternoon to celebrate the life of our friend Donna Kury Maxwell, we remember her with joy in our hearts for the life that she lived. for example, we remember her as our friend, our neighbor, our mother, wife. She was beloved by so many people for her wonderful personality. We wish to thank the Heavenly Father for her example to us, for the memories that we hold in our hearts and we treasure of her, the things that she did for us and the things that we learned from her. We are so grateful for this life that we have, the plan of salvation, that we can celebrate our life here on earth and then return to thee. We're so grateful for the opportunity we have now to share our many memories of Donna. We pray that those that are here, that they might feel joy in the remembrance of her, and joy in her life, and have happiness as they continue on until they meet again. We thank thee again, Heavenly Father, for this day and for Donna's life and for the many blessings that we receive from thee, and to be able to rejoice in our lives and in Donna's lives. And we say this humbly, in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Go ahead, sir. Okay. It's you. I was just trying to remember what we were doing.
Turn. Okay. Well, hello. I am Emily, Donna's daughter, and I thought I was being brief when I wrote this obituary. Turns out I'm not brief. And when she went on hospice over a year ago, we thought she was going really soon, and I was stressed about it, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and my therapy is writing, and so I wrote her obituary. And then we had to keep changing things because she kept sticking around. So hopefully I got all the numbers correct. So this was Donna Kury Maxwell. Most of you will say, what? Donna's dead? Now it all makes sense. I haven't gotten a single card, a letter, or newspaper clipping from her in a long time. Death is the only explanation. She was known for the thoughtful notes that she sent for everything. She loved sending and receiving mail. If you ever sent her any type of greeting card or note, she saved it. I'm not kidding. I lost my
Yeah,
place.
we had to clean them all out.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
We saw all
No.
of your cards.
Boxes and boxes of notes from you guys. Was your kid briefly mentioned in a newspaper article? Then Donna found it, cut it out, carefully taped the date to it, and made sure that you got every single copy she could find. She particularly loved the Standard Examiner. She specifically chose her kitchen table because it was large enough to read 2 newspapers side by side, one for her and one for her husband, David. She loved chapstick. She always had a tube of the classic original flavored chapstick brand in a holder on her wrist. Sometimes she even had one on each wrist. And you can bet we teased her about that. If you needed any office supply, including an envelope of any size, stamps, scissors, page protectors, stickers, notepads, tape, or Post-its, she was a great resource. Side note, today as we were prepping, someone asked me for tape, and I said, what do you want? I've got painter's tape, scotch tape, packing tape. And I went, oh dear, I know where that came from. It's in my DNA. All of them were meticulously organized and categorized. She loved making lists. She even made lists of lists that she needed to make. So here's a list of some of her favorite things. Chocolate, books, Reader's Digest, Star Trek, especially Voyager, Brad Paisley, Faith Hill, The Beatles, Elvis, Hawaii, catalog shopping, journal writing, scripture study, walking on the treadmill, organizing things, attending musicals and shows at any theater, and being very early to everything, which as children, we hated. But we lived. You are all still wondering what happened. Well, she had a fairly sharp decline at the end of 2022. We made the difficult decision to place her on hospice care. She was suffering from congestive heart failure and experiencing dementia. She and David were in the midst of selling their home of 42 years, so it's perfect timing for them to move to assisted living. Donna did not like fusses regarding her health, so we kept a lot of her health concerns secret. Even in her extremely frail state, we were afraid she'd yell at us for blabbing that she was sick, so we're sorry if it was a surprise. As the end of 2023 approached, we encouraged her to stick around until 2024 so that Dad could claim her one more year on his taxes. She died at 7 a.m. on New Year's Day. Mom, thanks for waiting. She has 2 super fantastic daughters. We aren't just saying this because we were writing the obituary, we were actually quoting her. Emily and Andy Snow, and Abby and Gail Hansen. Donna's husband of 46 years is David Maxwell. That was one of the things that we had to update. When we originally wrote this, they'd only been married 45 years, so he always made sure that she had what she wanted, even when it meant silly stuff like an extra case of paper towels, when they already had 3 cases on hand. He spent so much time these last few years caring for her and worrying about her. She would have kicked the bucket much sooner if he hadn't looked after her so well. There's also Dwayne. He was a neighbor cat that one day abandoned his family in order to move in with Donna and David. When they moved to assisted living, so did Dwayne. He is not here today, but if you'd like to see him before you leave, let us know. He'd love to be petted.
He lives on the other side of that wall.
Yes, he's probably listening to us, thinking, there's fun going on. People could pet me. She also has 7 crazy grandchildren. Benjamin.
Hey, stand up,
Yeah,
children.
stand up,
Somebody was
Benjamin.
asking who my kids were, and I was like, oh, that tall one is mine.
Anna. Where's Anna?
Anna.
Oh, there she is. That was an amazing entrance.
Thank you for making it.
Jane. Where's Jane?
Jane is in the back. She's right there.
Oh, she's hiding. Jane, I can't see your cute face.
She's good.
She also had Nora Snow, Nora, and Evan. These are my kids. And Eric, and Lisa. Hi, Lisa. She has one wonderful little sister, Kathy, who's married to Don Flower. They live in Candler, North Carolina. I was going to say New Hampshire. I don't know where that came from. North Carolina. Hopefully they're watching right now. Her parents, John and Marjorie Kury, her cats, Brownie and Beauty, Taffy and Dusty, and her dog, Sparky, all passed on many years ago. She had a testimony of Jesus Christ, and she would tell you about it. She loved preparing lessons for Sunday meetings, and she was a featured speaker at many Relief Society activities. She was proud to have her writing published in several church and local publications. She and David served as missionaries for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Boston, Massachusetts in 2006. We will miss her. We wish her well on her adventure to the Delta Quadrant and beyond. In case you don't know, on Star Trek Voyager, the Star Trek Voyager was flung from the Alpha Quadrant where we live to the Delta Quadrant, which is as far away in the universe as you can get from here. And the story of Voyager was them trying to travel back here. So we figure she went to the Delta Quadrant to go see what's there. We don't know where she is. Maybe she's the Beta Quadrant. Who knows? Live long and prosper. We'd also like to express a special thank you to Melissa, who's here in the front row. Woo!
It's literally our favorite.
And other staff from Suncrest Hospice that cared for her, and the staff at Abington Assisted Living. So if you know anyone who's nearing the end of their life, we could not recommend this woman. Thank you, Melissa. Well, and then I just keep talking because I keep talking, and so we are here today. The rest of the obituary just talks about what we're doing here, and we are so glad that you came and that you can enjoy this day with us.
Yay! I feel like you should clap for the obituary.
Because Emily does specialize in writing obituaries.
Oh, yes.
if any of you pass away, I would love to write your obituary.
Just have to write down the important details you want included. I'll tell one funny thing I thought of when you were reading the obituary, and it said that she had 2 wonderful daughters. We're quoting her. I don't know if that's always the most reliable source, because I don't know if you've met me and Emily, but I'm 5'2". Emily's 5 foot. My mom's also 5 foot, and she would always describe us to people, or to other people. She'd be like, "Oh, my daughters are so tall and thin and beautiful." And we were kind of short and chubby a lot of the time, and we're definitely still short. And I remember thinking, if I ever get kidnapped and she has to describe me to the police or on the news, they will never find me. She'll be like, "They're like supermodels. They're so tall." And I'm like, "No, Mom, I'm 5'2".
We're just normal.
Taller than we're just normal. Okay, so and one other thing. I'm the black sheep of the family. I have no idea anything about Star Trek. So if you're confused, come join with me. Next thing we're gonna do, you guys have a colored bingo card on your seat, and you have chocolate chips so they won't roll off. Those are your markers for your bingo card. We are doing a more fun type of eulogy using this bingo card with prizes. The thing is, my mom actually thought bingo was the dumbest game and wouldn't do it, but we are at a senior living center and we love bingo. But we figured we won't call it anymore after that name because she doesn't like it. So what we're gonna do is do her eulogy bingo. And if you get 5 in a row, don't say that word, yell, "Donna!" so that she doesn't actually haunt us forever. And then Emily's gonna explain prizes.
All right, a lot of you, when you came in and walked around the room, you saw this super deluxe, beautiful display of crafty office supplies and stuff. That was because Donna loved them so much she could have opened her own Office Depot or current catalog, if you remember that. And it was so much that we kind of went, well, we don't quite know what to do with this. This is far more than a lifetime supply that any of us can use as far as cards. And so when you get a Donna, not a bingo, a Donna, you have the option of jumping up and running back there and getting your pick of bingo prizes. If you're like, no, I'm gonna hang out, that is just fine. Pick up your bingo prizes on the way out. In fact, if you want to take 2 or 3 or 7 bingo prizes,
Please do.
no one is going to question you, because at the end, we would like that table to be empty and we want you to go do something that Donna would do. There's lots of notepads. Go home and make some lists. Whatever list you want to make. There are cards. Go ahead and send someone a card for no reason or for a good reason, whatever you'd like. And just use those. There's also little bags back there. You're welcome to grab a little gift bag and put all your goodies in there. And then every time you leave a sticky note for yourself, you can be like, Donna. So did I answer your question about prizes? They're Donna prizes. Yes. Did I say bingo prizes? Oh.
I know. Oh, who's
She's gonna haunt me. Alrighty. Okay, so a few of these things are gonna repeat from the obituary, but that's okay, just pretend. Do you need to leave? Okay,
Yep.
stop.
We have something for you. So don't go. Wait, we're disrupting the program for the coolest person in the world.
Yes, so we were gonna rig the door prizes and make sure that this amazing woman got something. Come up here, Melissa.
To be clear, my mom's hospice nurse for a year, so we're not sure if she's the greatest or the worst hospice nurse, because my mom's like, she's on hospice, she's supposed to die, but she just can't live here.
Everybody else goes on hospice and is gone 3 days later, and this woman
Kept her alive.
kept her alive. And there were times that I called you and I said, I do not know what to do. And she took that burden, and we're so grateful.
You never had to change your insurance again.
No, I didn't. And so we have this. We just wanted you to know how much we love you and thank you. And if you go out that way, you can get more chocolate on the way out. So thank you so much for coming. And
Picture of us with Melissa quickly. Sorry.
And to Melissa's family, thank you for letting us borrow her at all hours of the night.
Oh, yeah. We're taking a picture. May you all be so cool one day that an entire memorial service is interrupted for selfies.
Yes.
We love it. A shout out with the obituary. That's the best.
I know. You
You only missed the hats, though. That's the only thing missing.
Oh.
It's her hats. That's
Her
that was the end of life. Her hats are out there.
They're at the photo booth.
Oh, good.
Mhm. You can try one
These are
on.
hats.
So tell your boss that you got a special mention and some roses.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
all right. So back to the original programming. Here's how it's gonna work. I'm gonna read some stuff about Donna's life, and some of them will be bingo clues. So keep watching your bingo card. Not everybody has the same bingo card. And I just wanted you to notice the center piece is a Relief Society, charity never faileth, because my mom believed in doing good. And I still have about 50 of those stickers left. So if anyone needs one on their way out, you let me know. But we thought this was a fitting use for them. Alrighty. Donna kept a list of cool things that were the same age as her. So we'd like to start with some interesting things that happened the year she was born. Velcro was invented in 1948. James Michener, one of her favorite authors, published Tales of the South Pacific, which was the basis for the musical South Pacific. Israel was officially declared an independent state in 1948. Stamps were only 3 cents, and gas cost 26 cents per gallon. On March 22nd, 1948, Andrew Lloyd Webber, the composer of Phantom of the Opera and many musicals, was born. 2 days later, on March 24th, 1948, Donna Lynn Kury was born. So, those are both pretty significant birthdays. She was born in Baltimore, Maryland, to Marjorie and John Kury. She had a heart defect, and no one knew how long she would live. Oh, we can do this.
I can be Van.
Sorry, and maybe I can yeah.
You know
That's
what? You
good.
could just be like, I probably missed these. Donna!
Yeah.
I'll get to post-it notes.
We're not checking your Donnas. This is just for fun.
Can you guys see better if I look back a little bit? I don't know.
Or maybe if you do this.
I will.
I can even read a little slower.
Nope, you're good.
All right, the next time we do this,
The next
we'll be more polished. Dad, give us a minute. We gotta get over this. All right, her family moved to Asheville, North Carolina. They eventually bought a house at 115 South Bear Creek Road. Some of you watching on Zoom know exactly which house that is. Their home overlooked the Biltmore House, a private estate of the Vanderbilt family. Donna always loved the Biltmore House. In 1953, Donna got a little sister named Kathy. Donna was a longtime member of the Sardis Methodist Church.
Oh, sorry.
Yep. Sorry.
I was getting excited.
We're out of sync.
Sorry.
Sorry.
This is actually our first rehearsal.
It is. There will not
We're gonna have another. This is the, what's it called?
dress rehearsal.
This is the dress rehearsal. Thanks for coming.
Come back tomorrow, we'll do the show again. Because of her heart defect, she wasn't able to run and play as much as other kids. So she focused on academics and got very good grades. And she read a lot. She probably read thousands, if not tens of thousands of books over her lifetime. In 1966, she graduated from Inca
High school. She graduated from high school.
High School in Chandler, North Carolina. So those of you who are watching on the East Coast in North Carolina, don't make fun of me if I said that wrong. Shortly after graduation, she learned that a new open heart surgery technique that could repair the problem with her heart had been developed. She not only survived, but she thrived after that surgery. She moved about 4 hours away from home to go to Methodist College in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Yeah! I love it! Woo, Jolene!
Oh, another dog!
We've got another Donna! Oh, Kristen got a Donna! Yay!
Good job.
I didn't know that Kathy got a Donna! Oh!
Kathy,
See, isn't that happy? We're all just Donna! Yay! All right, so if you want to run and get your prizes,
You are welcome.
or get them later, it is up to you. I got distracted by Donna. Oh, she had lots of friends. One of them introduced her to the missionaries for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and she got baptized. So missionaries. She took a road trip to Utah with a bunch of friends and ended up staying. She got a job at Weber State College. Oh, I heard another Donna. Who? Raise your hand. Oh, Lois. Oh my goodness, you got that on Weber State College. And this friend Lois knew Donna at Weber State College. They had some cool adventures. You might want to talk to her after, get some dirt on Donna. So it's now Weber State University, but long ago it was not. No, you're good.
I thought I would.
No, she became a book buyer at the Weber State College bookstore. And that was a job that she loved. She lived in Ogden with lots of fun roommates. She met David. Oh, Donna, yay! She met David in 1975 at a singles ward at Weber State. They got married in the Ogden Temple on March 25th, 1977. And if you were paying attention, yes, that is the day after her birthday. And here's an interesting note. Her new mother-in-law, my grandma, loved her. And my mom loved her mother-in-law. So, which I know is sometimes unusual. I love my mother-in-law. She's fierce. I love her. She's amazing too.
I love my mother. My mother-in-law's on Zoom. Hi,
Oh,
Charlotte.
hi. We've been very blessed in this family with good mothers-in-law. Donna was very good at making good impressions and making friends. They lived in an apartment in Roy, Utah for a few years. Donna! Yes! Woo! While they were in Roy, their super beautiful and amazingly talented daughter, Emily, was born in 1979. Tall and thin and beautiful.
Donna!
Donna! Yay! Good job, Eric. I love it. All right.
Just sitting here. Hey,
Oh,
look, it's the Giants. We love them. You guys, this is not formal at all. So go get some food and then come sit down. We're playing
there's
bingo.
some Brenda.
There's seats right up front. For whenever you come in late, you can sit right up front.
But go get chocolate and then come join us. All right.
We already have.
Okay, so I mentioned their super beautiful and amazingly talented daughter, Emily. They were expecting their slightly less amazing, but still pretty cool daughter, Abby.
Except to point out, they stopped having children after I was born because I was perfect. They had to do a trial run. Throw the first pancake out, try a second one, and so I don't know if you're an algebra fan. Abby!
I'm a guinea pig and a pancake. Oh, goodness. Did we get another Donna? Raise your hand. Yay, Carolyn, wonderful. All right.
That's Donna on D. That makes it
Yes,
extra.
there you go. So did everybody get Abby on their bingo card? When they were expecting Abby, they decided to look for a house. They found their, oh, and Donna! Yay! Thank you. They found their, Monet too. They found their forever home in Syracuse, Utah. Do you have Syracuse, Utah?
Yep, Syracuse, Utah.
Donna! Yay, Judy! All right. Donna was a member of the Syracuse Second Ward. almost the rest of her life. I heard 2 Donnas. Yay! She was a member of Syracuse Second Ward for almost the rest of her life, even though the boundaries were rearranged and rearranged and rearranged. They stayed in the Second Ward.
This big geographically, and it kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. But my mom was Syracuse Second Ward.
She was the heart.
She was holding it together. They couldn't change it apparently.
Some of you were also the heart, but you got cut off. We love you anyways, whites.
You were the love.
You're the ones I'm looking at. All right. Donna taught many Relief Society lessons. Donna, yay! Okay. Oh, good. She loved doing that. She even taught a lesson or 2 here at Abington while she was in assisted living. She also spoke at many homemaking meetings in the area. She loved doing that. She served in many church callings, including stake historian, stake young women's presidency, and as a very super ultra very dedicated visiting teacher, she always got dressed up and wore pantyhose, even though she hated them when she went visiting.
Donna.
Yay! Great. She had 2 cats, Brownie and Beauty, that she loved. She also loved, so Brownie and Beauty, she also loved watching Phil. Donna! Who said Donna? I heard it. Oh, good. She also loved watching Phil Donahue, Oprah, and Dr. Phil. I remember our VCR was like always set to tape that. If we were. I'm hearing lots of Donnas. Oh, I love it. Love it, love it. She walked on the treadmill nearly every day.
And she would watch Oprah from the day before. Wouldn't she like watch Oprah or Donahue from the day before? And then she'd walk on the treadmill.
Yes, she was always watching something. She read the newspaper every day. She gleefully ran out to the mailbox to see what, is there a Donna?
2 more Donnas.
Okay.
Another Donna. Woo!
Newspaper, okay. She gleefully ran out to the mailbox every day to see what new catalogs arrived, and she usually ordered something. I heard a whole bunch of Donnas from this side just now. Double Donna. Just keep yelling Donna.
Is that double D's that you get if you get a double Donna? Just yell that. And go get prizes. I'm seeing a lot of prizes sitting back there. Go get your prizes.
All right. She made us all listen to country music, whether we liked it or not. You got another Donna, I bet? She always had a glass of ice water. After Abby and Emily went to college, she and David had lots of adventures. They went on an Alaskan cruise, a Mississippi River cruise, and an elder hostel trip to Colorado to learn about James Michener. Do you guys remember James Michener? Yeah. He wrote Tales of the South Pacific that was published the year she was born. So lots of good facts for you to know. They also attended lots of performances at the Hale Center Theater. Donna and David served as employment specialist missionaries in Boston. Yep, I could have done that one. There's not one on that. Employment specialist missionaries in Boston in 2006. They drove from Utah to Boston, and on the way there, Donna slipped on the ice and broke her wrist. And it didn't stop her, she still went. So, later in her life, Donna was adopted by Dwayne, the neighbor cat. He ditched his family to move across the street to live with Donna and David. David and Donna and Dwayne moved here to the Abington. That's the next one. Poor Donna, I love it. By the way, my kids called her Grand Donna. So Eric, it's okay if you yell at Grand Donna too. And I'm hearing lots of Donnas. I'm sorry, let me go back. David and Donna and Dwayne moved here to the Abington in December 2022 as Donna's health was failing. Dwayne seemed to ignore Donna, and we teased him about being indifferent to a hospice patient because aren't cats supposed to snuggle with their loved one and care for them? Well, more Donnas. On New Year's Day, this is the last one, Dwayne woke David up early and insisted on going for a walk. Dwayne refused to go back to the room. He resisted all of David's attempts to nudge and hurry him down the hallway, because he and my dad take a walk down this hallway every day. And since Dwayne is more than 20 pounds, picking him up was not an option. When he finally relented and David returned to the room, Donna was gone. So all the while that we thought the cat was ignoring Donna, he must have actually been having silent psychic conversations with her. And that morning she told him that she needed a few minutes by herself and asked him to take David on a walk. Donna! So really, you got a blackout. I love it.
Who else got a blackout?
So remember, on your way out, if you got a Donna or didn't get a Donna,
Or you
like office supplies, please wipe that table clean. Anything that you would like, take it and do something with it that Donna would do.
Okay, where are the raffle names? Are they on this are the raffle names on here? Okay, we have for your door prizes. We have 12 prizes, and we're gonna have my dad draw these names. I think we're just gonna have my dad draw 12 names. No, 11. We gave one to Melissa. 11 names. And then you guys can either have a giant chocolate bar in honor of my mom loving chocolate, or flowers if you don't love chocolate. We don't know why we invited you if you don't, but. So we are going to have my dad, where did they go? So Dad, come up to the microphone and draw 11 names, and if you'll just raise your hand, I'll come around and give you an option, okay? And so will my sister. They're right there.
She's not gonna die. It's not gonna be. It's just, yeah.
Okay, the fix is in.
I'm but everything else has money.
Oh, you girls are amazing. I knew this was gonna be good, but not this good. Okay, Connie Price.
Where's Connie? Where's Connie? Okay. All right. Keep calling out names and keep raising your hand when we bring stuff around.
What? Okay,
All right.
Wes White.
Wes, do you want flowers or chocolate?
Chocolate.
Okay, Connie's got it.
Okay, Brenda Childs. You want this for?
Yes.
Brenda Childs.
Brenda, flowers or chocolate? Okay, you can even, if you don't want that one.
Okay,
Even so Christian,
right behind the Scott and Brenda are
she was so nice.
Sheldon and Joan Child, and
We're very childish at this
Yeah.
day.
anyway, Scott always points out that he's the one with LDS in his name. Okay, Nora Snow.
Also, I would have LSD in your name as well.
Nora Snow.
Nora! Flowers or chocolate?
Flowers.
I'm a green base. Yes.
There you go.
Karen Reagan.
Karen, do you want flowers or chocolate?
Chocolate?
Chocolate, okay. Guys, I worked hard on these flowers. I'm just saying.
Flowers.
Oh, sorry. Oh, that's all right, honey. No. Which one do you want? You want the big one?
Cash.
No, okay, wait a second. Which little one?
That teeny one there.
This little skinny one? Okay, there you go.
Jerry Woodruff.
Do you want flowers or chocolate? Okay.
Wait, what's the
Well, we really love West White, so I picked so randomly this K White.
Okay, would you like flowers or the chocolate of your own?
Oh, flowers in my own.
Okay, which one do you want?
Oh, gosh.
Purple, orange, blue.
Well, I don't care.
Okay. Which, did you say which is the heaviest?
Yeah, I don't want you to have to carry it anymore.
Oh. I got kids heavier than those flowers, no worries.
Okay, Jody Elwell.
Jody here?
Oh.
She was on time for part of it, I know. Okay. No, well, you must be present to win.
All right, you can all tell her, when you see her, be like, you missed out.
Okay, Nola Wagstaff. Where's Nola? Over there.
Nola, would you like chocolate or flowers? We'll take them to your room for you if you want. You want the purple ones? Okay, can you put them in your cup holder? Okay, we'll make sure they get to your room safely if you're nervous about
Okay, how are we doing? Debbie Danner. What?
Debbie, do you want chocolate or flowers? Chocolate or flowers? Chocolate? I know this. And we got 4 more left, 1 flower and 3 chocolates.
Yep.
Well, the Elwells left too early. I now have Sean Elwell.
Oh, dang it, we were drawing for $500 then, too bad.
Okay, Dick Kenbach.
Do you want chocolate or flowers? Yep. I'm not offended if you say no. You'd rather.
Everyone else, you get to go see a dentist, Dr. Gailey. He was my dentist growing up, so here's chocolate. I figure you might be retired, but you'll have to come out of retirement because of this party.
Okay. Yeah, we have 2 retired dentists here in Abington. Shirley Egan.
I saw her. Oh.
There she is.
Chocolate. Plain milk chocolate or almonds?
Did we really give away all the
2 milk chocolates.
Hey.
Okay, we're down to just chocolate. Ione Howell. Yay! Kathleen Baker.
Brian and Kathleen, are they still here?
Oh, did they leave?
I know they couldn't stay the whole time.
Oh, man, she missed out.
Okay, our fellow Cheney.
Art, you get our last chocolate.
Thank you all. There you go, Art. All right. Next. You know.
So what's next?
Oh, Abby's the boss.
Oh, Dad, we're gonna give some quick family stories before we open up to any of you guys who would like to share stories about my mom. Dad's gonna go first.
Wait, just a moment.
What?
Sorry, not formal. Get out of my way out. So, if you'll notice on your chairs, there is a white sheet. We would love to have some stories collected from my mom, so we can keep those in a scrapbook. And never throw them away because it's a piece of paper.
Until our kids have to clean out.
And then our kids will throw them away. But if you would like to take a moment when we're done and write it down, or if you want to work on it now, whenever you want to do your homework is fine. And you're welcome to share that story, or if you want to share a totally different story, totally whatever you want to do.
How can I help you?
Yes, you may speak.
Okay, I would like to tell the story of how I met Donna and our chaotic, hysterical wedding day. Okay, I moved to Utah in September 1974 to work on the Minuteman missile, and I settled in an apartment in Roy. Anyway, I was not interested in Mormon girls who I thought were aloof and priggish. But I had visited Temple Square and listened to, every day I'd come home and turn on my radio. I just had it on BYU radio FM. And every Tuesday, they had a forum or a devotional assembly at BYU, plus all the classical music. So, and when I visited Temple Square once, I bought a Book of Mormon since it was only 50 cents. If it were $1, I wouldn't have it. But I never read it. On September 75, okay, during the winter of 74, 75, I learned to ski. And so September 75, I went to a hill ski club party and met a girl who was fun to talk to. And I dropped these little religious hints to me. I was so knowledgeable. So we dated for a week, like every day. And then she said she was going to marry another guy.
So it wasn't Donna.
No. So I terminated that relationship. Okay, later Ruth Ann called me and asked if I'd like to meet with some missionaries. And why not? I didn't realize they had organized discussions. So I just peppered them with questions they couldn't answer. They would spend the next week agonizing that our next meeting would be a disaster. I then spent that week going through to the library and bookstores to find out what I could and cleared things up when we met again. And I did the same thing the next week. Okay, a neighbor who is not a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, referred me to the leader of the Royal Bible Academy, which was by Roy High School, kind of like a seminary. He gave me a stack of his notes pointing out contradictions in the Book of Mormon. So I did the same kind of research on them and kept having the same experiences refuting them. I finally agreed to start attending a young single adult ward at Weber State College. And so after attending there as a non-member, I would finally agreed to be baptized, which happened on Valentine's Day in 1976. A number of people from the ward were there, and they were all asked why they were there. Donna stood up and said she was glad to see more men joining the church. Okay? One nice thing was you had to wait a year before you could go to the temple. So that meant I could spend a whole year dating as many single girls in the singles ward without having to make a commitment. Okay, sometimes I'd have a date in the morning and a date in the evening. Sometimes I'd go on a date with 2 girls at the same time.
Did they like that?
Yeah. Who could resist me? Okay. But after several months of this, I found I had eliminated everyone but Donna. I like to pun, and she would get them and pun back at me, which most others could not do. For Christmas in 1976, we drove to California to meet my family. Going through the canyon west of Mesquite, Donna was driving in the left lane. Two cars came at high speed behind us in angry pursuit of each other. The front car pulled in front of us, and the other one followed him on his bumper and clipped my front fender, leaving my car dented but perfectly drivable. After a week with my family, my mother sent a note to Donna's parents that I had picked a jewel. My Christmas gift to Donna was the rocking chair that's out in the hall there. It fits anybody's body. There was a store on Washington Boulevard called the Wood Shop, and they sold unfinished furniture, so I bought that, and I was sanding it and staining it. Anyway, so I couldn't really take it with it, but she got a small box with a photo of it, and opened it up, and she knew what it was. And they also gave us a trip to a week in Kona Village, Hawaii, as a wedding present. Since we'd been gone a week, I took my car to the body shop right before that and left it there. Donna was living with a friend in Ogden who I wish were here. She has other commitments. And her family had come from Idaho to be with us. I planned to drive to that house and we would proceed from there. Unfortunately, Donna's car would not start with a dead battery. I called Julie's house and her father came out and we pushed the car out the parking lot to the street, which had a good slope. He let it roll and then popped the clutch. Our next stop was at the jewelry store on Washington Boulevard to pick up the rings. I went in, they hadn't arrived. Since they aren't really necessary, I was about to leave when the owner rushed out and said, they were just delivered to the back door. We then went through the marriage ceremony. We planned to have photographs, but it was a cold, snowy day, so we just came home to get our luggage and headed to Salt Lake City. 2 months later, we found a clear day and dressed in our wedding clothes. One of our neighbors saw us and said, I thought you were already married. Anyway, we stayed at the Salt Lake Hotel so we could catch an early shuttle to the airport. Then we did some married people stuff.
Oh, wait, stop. Turn
What?
around. That is Donna ziplining on the TV.
Oh,
It's not.
Oh, dang it. Okay, you're going to have to go home and watch the YouTube video because I know some of you will be like, Donna, zipline? Yes, she did.
Terrified to do that.
And
She looks a little terrified. She's smiling and like, it's fine, I'm fine.
Dad, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
oh, you ruined the whole thing.
And if you were talking when the zip line comes up again, I'm going to interrupt you.
Okay, fine.
It's worth it.
Okay, so we went to the hotel, then we did some married people stuff, and realized we hadn't had anything to eat. So we went a couple blocks to Check-A-Rama. For years after that, we always went to Check-A-Rama on our anniversary. We had a great time at Kona Village, but when I took out my credit card to pay for some extra charges we had made, it was just into April, and the card expired at the end of March. Okay, the new one was waiting in the mailbox at home. Fortunately, I had enough cash in my wallet. And so that's the story of how we got married.
Thank you, Dad. Okay, I was just gonna talk very quickly and then turn it to my sister and then we're gonna open it up to you guys. Because I think we wanted to just give you a quick idea. I don't know, now this doesn't sound as fun. I'll try to be quick because I'm telling you how my mom was sick and moved here. So in a very quick fashion, the fall of 2022, we started to notice my mom, her body was definitely giving out. She was in congestive heart failure. Her body was just, we said in the eulogy that she was born with a heart condition and she lived as long as her body could last, as long as her heart could go. We were gonna move my mom and dad to a new home that was a patio home that didn't have any stairs because we realized stairs were getting dangerous for her. She could fall down them and she couldn't navigate up and down them anymore. And there was a couple of hospitalizations, ER visits, Thanksgiving units, COVID.
It was a disaster.
Thanksgiving of 2022, everybody had COVID except Emily. Weirdly enough, she didn't get COVID, but I was home with COVID. My mom was in the hospital with COVID, but not because of COVID. But the problem is, if you happen to have COVID, in addition to everything else, you have to go to a rehab center that will take COVID patients. And it was when they had just closed all the last ones down, and there was only one really crappy one in Salt Lake that we could take her to with COVID to rehab. And so anyways, Christmas came and it was back in the hospital again. And we decided right after Christmas, beginning of 2023, we were like, Mom, we can keep rushing you to the hospital every time your heart blood pressure spikes, every time we're worried about a heart attack, or we could just put you on hospice and just let you be comfortable and let your body do what it's trying to do. It was hard moving them. We downgraded my parents. Emily and I, we sold my parents' house and we downsized an entire lifetime of one house into a 2-bedroom apartment here. And it was really hard because we'd be saying to my mom things like, you don't need these casserole dishes anymore. You're moving to a senior living center where they make all your food for you. And my mom would be like, yeah, but what if they asked me in Relief Society to take a casserole to a new mom? And we're like, Mom, it's a senior living center. Nobody's having babies. So we managed to move her here finally. We obviously did not get her to part with her office supplies, but now she can't do anything about it, so we're parting with them. And she, like we said, she was on hospice for a long time, and even at the very end, when Melissa, the hospice nurse who left, said, this is really the end, her body is finally really shutting down. If you want your kids to see her still conscious, to say goodbye to her, move up your Christmas party. This was just a couple months ago because she may not be conscious in a few days at Christmas. And so we did all of that, but then my mom just kept plugging away. Like 2 weeks later, she was still here from when they said that. And we kept saying, Mom, are you seeing any dead relatives yet? And she would be like, no, I'm not, nobody. We're like, okay, well, where are they? Because they're supposed to be coming to collect you. Does heaven need a little longer to prepare? Why is this taking so long? And we'd come in, and at the end, her body was too weak to even talk. And we would say, like, Mom, anybody dead come yesterday? Hold on, this is following. Okay, anybody dead? I'll be a singer. Anybody dead come to see you yesterday? And she'd just be like, we'd go, where are they? And she'd go, no. We'd say dead cats, anything, Mom. And we don't know because she didn't talk those last few days. Maybe they finally came, but we were like, come on. My mom was on time for everything, and her ancestors were late picking her up. But when she passed away, we were ready. We had well over a year of saying goodbye over and over again. So we were ready and had processed all those feelings. So we're just happy to celebrate with you guys. Emily was gonna talk, and then we are happy to bring the microphone to you, or if you want to come up here, like you're running for president at a podium, you can come up here, but we're just happy to hear it. You can talk for 15 seconds if you want, if you just want to say something. Oh, wait, here, Emily, and I have something else. I just want to do a very quick video of everybody waving and being, I'm just going to come around. When I'm facing you, go, woo, I love Donna, or whatever you want to say.
So it's like the wave?
Sure, like the wave, okay? So we're going to start over here with Chris. Woo! We love you, Donna! Woo! Yay! All right, so you can be immortalized. Yay, thank you.
Do they have Facebook in heaven? Can she check them? I don't know. All right. So, how did this work? From the bottom? It doesn't. Oh, thank you. All right.
I'm smarter than a microphone. Okay, so, holy moly. Okay, so we've talked about my mom never threw any paper away. So we were going through some scrapbooks a few weeks ago, and we found a paper that I had written in the year 2000, and it was about being a mother and what kind of mother I would be. So I was about 20 years old at the time, and I thought I knew everything. So I wrote that list as a reminder of things that my mother did that I say that was the funniest part. So 24 years later, I thought it would be appropriate to check in on what my mom had taught me and see how I'm doing. So I told my kids I'm going to ask them to answer. Evan, if you're on your phone, put your phone down. All right. Number 1 on my list was I will not drive my kids nuts. Because my mom drove me nuts. Do I drive you guys nuts? We didn't rehearse that, but thank you, so kind of. I also, something my mom did was she would get rid of her favorite toys and then pretend she didn't know what happened. And I said, I would not do that. Have I ever gotten rid of anything you wanted? But I didn't get rid of your favorite toys, right? That's what I wrote. Another thing that my mom did that I swore I would never do was I would not be nice to people if they called while I'm yelling at my kids. Because you know your mom would be like, do the dishes. Hello, oh, I'm doing wonderfully. How are you? And you're like, who is that lady? I don't do that because I just text people now. So I solved that one through technology. But do you remember Mom doing that? It drove me nuts. I'm like, and then she would get off the phone and be like, why isn't the garbage out? So I also swore that I would let my children watch things like Pee Wee Herman and The Simpsons because my mom would not let me watch those. And guess what? Who's my youngest child named after? Andy? We named a child after Lisa Simpson. So I remember telling my mom that and her kind of going, I have failed. I also, one thing I swore I would never do was I would not ask them why they are laughing during TV shows. Because I remember that my mom, whenever there was some kind of innuendo, and I'd be like, oh. And whether I knew what it meant or not, my mom would say, so why is that funny? And it was always one of those things that you either didn't want to admit to your parents that you knew what it meant, or you didn't know what it meant. And so I've caught myself a few times asking my children, why are you laughing? Why is that so funny? So I just thought it was funny to find that list and compare what my mom did that drove me nuts. And I now have followed after her footsteps. I wanted to read, do you want me to read these other ones real quick?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Donna's sister Kathy lives in North Carolina. She wasn't able to come. She just got a new knee. And so she wrote some really sweet words that we wanted to share with you about Donna. This is Kathy Flower. I am Donna's younger sister. She was 5 years older than me, so I am sure I was mostly a hindrance to the life she had planned. Donna was born with 4 holes in her heart, and back in those days, there was nothing to do for little blue babies, as they were called. At Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore, Maryland, they handed our mother and father their precious bundle and told them to just enjoy her for the time they had. They were not sure if she would last days or weeks. We owe a lot to our parents as they persevered in the face of all that, and she lived. Every year we would return to Johns Hopkins to see if any new procedures could help her. 18 years went by. My parents never let us feel that it was a burden to go to Baltimore from our home in North Carolina, but instead made it a happy vacation time. Only as I matured did I know the full sacrifice they had made. Donna could not play like the other kids in school, so she took to being a scholar. She read so much and enjoyed school a lot. She even had a lead role in her high school senior play, You Can't Take It With You. And there is a picture of her somewhere back there, and there's a little sticky note that says, "This is Donna." So check that out. You can see Donna when she was young.
Right there. Dale's pointing at it.
Oh, thank you, Dale. She was a natural. She had many friends and enjoyed her life. When she just turned 18, she went to Johns Hopkins again, and that time, great news. There was a surgery that was brand new for the holes in her heart. Doctors could place Teflon over the holes, and the heart would grow new cells over them. Bad news was it would no. Bad news is it was so new that the survival rate was only 50%. My parents let Donna choose, and of course she chose life. She chose a new life. She would no longer have blue fingertips and blue lips, and she would be able to be more active. You all know the outcome of that surgery and the wonderful life that Donna lived. When she recovered, a couple of her friends joined her in a cross-country trip. Utah was a magnet for them. Against the protests of our parents, she got a job at Weber State College and started a brand new life. She later met a boy named David, and everything she had hoped for in life, she made happen. 2 beautiful girls and grandchildren galore added to this life that Donna loved. I'm thankful for our parents that taught us to live life to the fullest and complain very little. Donna did as she was taught. Here's the dirt on Donna. Let's change tone here. Donna was 5 years older than me. I'm speaking in Kathy's words again, her sister. So I was a natural pest to her. We were taught not to fight, so Donna figured out a way to handle me with no evidence left behind. She couldn't really play outside and stuff, so she would use psychology on me. We were riding in the car with our mother driving, and I am sure I was running my mouth. We may be related to her, because some of us can't stop talking.
Zip line there, I think.
Oh,
That's a picture.
Oh, it's a picture of the zip line.
But it was a
Okay. Oh, what's a wedding picture? Take a look at that. So cute. And these are in some of Donna's last days.
And there's
There's
the love of her life.
so the picture, my dad, we told everybody to make a funny face, and he was the only one that did that. So if you're wondering why David looks so, I'm sorry, can you tell we're easily distracted in this family? Okay. Focus on me, keep looking for the zipline video, because so they were riding in the car with mother, and I'm sure I was running my mouth, said Kathy. They were paving the road, and Donna told me that I had to keep my mouth shut or the fumes from the paving would cause my tongue to swell. To this day, I will not talk when going through road construction. My husband reaps the benefits of Donna's psychology. As I matured, I wondered why our mother allowed that. Smart woman she was, she enjoyed the silence herself. In 1964, the Beatles entered our lives. Donna claimed them. I was not allowed by Donna to look at them, touch any of her albums, or listen to their music. The night they were on the Ed Sullivan Show, I sneaked into the hallway and caught a glimpse of them as Donna sat there with her little brown camera, taking pictures of them on TV. I am sure my parents allowed her to banish me because I had so many other things I could be doing rather than bothering her. But to this day, I feel really guilty if a Beatles song comes on the radio. Or heaven forbid, in an elevator, I try to act like I'm not listening. Donna was having year-end tests. She was in the 4th grade. Her dog Sparky got hit by a car and died while she was at school.
Okay, Emily,
Yeah.
can I interrupt?
Yeah, sure.
Joan Child was,
Joan, you can interrupt me. Would you like to talk for a minute?
Well, I don't want to interrupt you.
no,
I've interrupted people. Come on up. Yes, since she's got to exit, we're gonna let her take just a sec. Come on up.
Thank you.
Yes.
well, Sheldon and Joan came to visit us, right before New Year's. We didn't know she was gonna live that long, but Joan beamed over over her and just told what it was like when Donna moved into Syracuse.
Well, I first met Donna when she moved into the second ward, and I loved her the minute I saw her. And I love the picture that you got on the front, because that's just the Donna that we know and love. And I just told her a few brief things, and I'll keep it very short, but I remember I was called to be her visiting teacher, and how I loved to go to Donna's because I love books as much as she did. And we would discuss novels and history books and the scriptures and all the things that were so dear to us. And she was a dear friend. She just was so fun. And I remember looking in her bedroom one day, and she had sheets on her bed, nothing else. And she says, I do that in the summer because there's no sense in making beds. And so she just left the sheets and didn't put blankets or anything on the bed. And but I remember particularly one lesson that she gave. She was a marvelous teacher, both scripturally and fun. And I remember one time we walked in, it was a Relief Society homemaking meeting at night. And we walked in, and this room was just filled with, I think, every single thing from her kitchen. She had on tables, she had pots, and she had pans, and she had spices. I mean, she had everything on this table. And she says, okay, this is how you organize. You pick up every single thing, and you say, do I need it within my fingertips, or does this go in outer space? And she would pick up and she'd put things that belonged in outer space and things that belonged in the kitchen. And I use that all the time. We have moved a lot since those days, and I use it all the time. Does this need to be close in my fingertips, or can it be in outer space? And sometimes it's so far in outer space that I just give it away because I know I'll never use it again. But she was a dear, dear friend, and they mentioned the notes. We left Syracuse in 1991 to start serving missions and other things around the world, and I just loved Donna's notes because she would write and she would give me all the news of the Syracuse Second Ward. She would just give me in detail what's happening in everyone's life, and how I loved that, how it tied me to home. And Syracuse Second Ward was always home and always will be home to me. And so it was just delightful to have those notes from Donna. And she was a dear, dear friend, and I just love her to pieces. And she's making people happy wherever she is in outer space. I don't know what they were talking about, all of that.
Delta Quadrant.
Delta Quadrant, maybe there, but maybe just right at the Savior's feet. So we just love her and love her family. And so grateful to be able to say a few things to pay tribute to her.
Joan, that was not an interruption. That was beautiful. Thank you. And don't forget to get bingo prizes. Thank you so much. And if any of you need to leave and you're like, hold on, I gotta talk, that is just fine. I have one more story of dirt to tell about Donna from her sister. And then I have just two short things to share, and then we're gonna let you guys talk. This is from her sister, Kathy. I had a problem with remembering which word to use, purpose or porpoise. I knew one was a big fish, but I couldn't keep it straight. After numerous times of asking Donna out of exasperation, she said, listen to me. I'm gonna make it simple for you. You are never going to see a porpoise, never. So there's absolutely never going to be a reason for you to say that word again. And she was right. I've never seen a porpoise or said that word again on purpose. And she closed her words with, Donna, I hope your rewards in heaven are more than you had expected. Make sure you give them your list of demands, and I'm sure they will comply. She also has a friend, Alice. Hi, Alice, who is in North Carolina and watching on Zoom today. And Alice tells the story of they met at Methodist College and she got on the bus late one night. She noticed a very friendly looking girl sitting on the bus and she sat down by her and they ended up becoming longtime friends. They're friends to this day. And it was just because my mom was friendly and willing to talk. And I wanted to read one more thing from her friend Jerry Woodruff. And she had a cute list of things that she thought about my mom. First thing was funny, smart as whip, super organized, maybe a little OCD, which I laughed out loud. I'm like, no, there's no maybe about it. And there's no little about it. She gave beautiful prayers. She was loving and she was thoughtful. And so those were the words that we had sent to us that we wanted to share. I think my sister's got one, and then she's going to tell you one.
Yes, I will. Okay, this really quick is from her friend Deirdre. Donna and I were close friends at Inca High School for the years. Sorry, you are no longer on earth. I like to believe Donna is in the presence of our Lord now. So I know we've been sitting here for an hour now. We would invite anyone who wants to share like a very brief, quick hello, you're welcome to. Maybe we'll do like 10 minutes. And then you can write your stories and give them at the most. But would anybody like to, I can just hand you the microphone.
Yes.
Yes. Nora.
Oh, Mike, sit down.
Anna, get out here right now, please.
Getting up and getting down.
My story, you can do this.
what's dropping off.
That's her. Okay. You can write it. I just want to make sure they're in the Zoom. Are they in the Zoom?
Hi. Hi. I am the favorite granddaughter. I'm Emily's child, first child. I'm the child of the better child. So therefore I'm the best. That's just your opinion. Don't worry. We had a lot of sleepovers at her house. That's very true. We would lay in her living room. She had princess blankets and like princess pillows, and we would fight over the princess blankets, I remember. And we would lay in her living room, especially around Christmas time, and like watch the Christmas tree and just like lay there and talk all night. Yeah. And then
Oh, I think that was just a picture.
We're looking for the video.
And sometimes she'd walk in on us talking about stuff. And once I said a bad word and I got in really big trouble. It wasn't really a swear word, but it was the word B-U-T-T. Yeah, we got in so much trouble.
Donna made up some words that were swear words.
The F word was a different word in our house than the one you're thinking of. It sounds like tart. That was the F word.
Yes.
But yeah, it's so bad. That is such a bad word, guys.
Never say
That
that.
wasn't necessary. That was so necessary. I love you. Never say the F word, guys. It's not good.
We want to keep it kind of brief so that we have a good.
She gave us lots of sweets, like ice cream for breakfast.
Like chocolate?
Dinner. Yeah, and chocolate. She had a dress-up box that we loved. There was like a box of clip-on earrings and there were a bunch of sweaters and like fancy gloves and stuff. We'd like scream at each other arguing over the box. Yeah, there were many fights involved. She also had like a big yoga ball that we fought over. I got it. It's mine now. It's at my house. And also she had like a bunch of little tassel thingies that we would always play with. Your turn. I can. Oh yeah, she had like a room full of soda and stuff, And once I got sick, and like all I drank and ate that entire day was like the squirt soda. She's like, it'll make you get better. I'm like, okay.
I remember that whenever we were sick, she was like, you need squirt.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't that bad, so I wouldn't complain. But, and I did not get the pleasure of doing this, but I got to have sugar nights, and I would go over and they would pick me up, and we would go to a store, and I would pick out like ice cream, chips, a ton of candy, and we'd go back to her house, and I would rot in the basement all night watching movies, stayed up all night eating everything. I had ice cream for breakfast. It was amazing.
She was the best.
Yeah. Something. I forgot. So did I. If we remember the last thing, we'll come back up.
Oh, it's like the next generation of me and Emily.
Speaking of, Donna definitely, she loved reading and like she loved organizing and stuff, and that was passed down to my mom. My mom loves reading. She loves reading nonfiction, and then it was passed down to me. I love reading fiction, and I am extremely organized.
It didn't get past.
Yeah, you're like,
It's okay. Aw, thank you guys.
All right. Dr. Gailey. That's all I'll ever know him as.
I won't
He was
take
my-
very long. I've got just 2 stories I want to tell you about Donna. In 1982, my wife and I moved back from Chicago to practice dentistry in Syracuse. The day we opened the practice was December 10th of 1982. And I had gone to Hamlin's, all of those you were Syracuse people, and bought about 6 dozen donuts. I sat with those donuts all by myself until Donna came. Donna came and we talked, and I didn't know Donna. I knew old-time Syracuse, but she had moved in recently, and she was one of my first patients. Now, I have a benefit over all of you. None of you could get a word edgewise, but if I had my hands in her mouth, she couldn't speak. Now, I want to commend Abby and Emily for what they've done today, because there is an old German saying, "Gib Blumen während des Lebens, denn auf dem Grabe sind sie vergebens." Did you get that? Give flowers during their lifetimes, because on the grave, they don't mean much. We've been given flowers by Donna today. Isn't that interesting?
Okay, who else would like to? I feel really embarrassed to tell you this, but I had to get a crown this last year. Doctor, and it's been really sensitive to cold, so maybe you can check it out for me.
Hey, anybody, I had a thought while you're thinking, if you want to come up. If you look back here on this bottom shelf of this bookcase right next to Dr. Gailey, those are all of my mom's journals that she wrote for years and years. They are tied up so that you may not peek in there and find out details. But if you look at that is quite an accomplishment.
Yes, she recorded everything. So if she met you, you're in there. We got dirt on you. Okay, anybody else?
Not me.
Julene.
Maxwell's home was the second home for our daughter, Callie. Callie's only daughter. She was born in 1992. And one time Donna called me and she says, "Do you know where Callie is?" And I said, "No, I think she's just in her bedroom sleeping." Donna started to laugh. She says, "No, she's over here at our house." Well, Callie had slipped out unbeknownst to Bill and I and gone over there. And she was about 3 years old. So she was pretty young, just to, get away in that. Also in 2006, when Maxwells were on their mission in Boston, we took a trip back there to see them, and it happened to be on Callie's 14th birthday. And so that day we were on the road all day. But when we got to Dave's apartment in Boston, they had baked Callie a birthday cake, so she didn't have one. But Maxwells are wonderful. Donna was a fun neighbor. Pictures I'm going to give you. We went down to Tuacahn. This is Tuacahn in 2010, Red Rocks. And then this is another one, this was also, before Tuacahn, we went to the Shakespeare Festival. And this is us with the Shakespeare, with William.
Thanks, Julie. Yeah. All right, Kury, you have the mic. Whatever you'd like. Okay. Oh, Chris, come on up, Chris.
Oh.
Yes. No, sorry. Just to Chris. Oh, you're fine.
So I don't know who knows the story about the wild animal on stage. Do you?
The lion.
One of you, the lion, was one of the first stories I heard about Donna, but I don't know all of the story. But I think it was whatever was similar to a roadshow in the past, but in grand Donna style. It had a wild animal.
I feel like it was a production at Weaver State. Lois, do you know the story? Okay.
Somebody knows the story, but I don't know what it was. But anyway, she was, two things I'll tell you. When she was my favorite teacher, and I love to teach. But when I got sick and couldn't teach my lesson, I knew at the last minute I could contact Donna and she would fill in for me better than I could have prepared the whole way. In fact, I would be mad at myself for being sick because I want to be in her lesson to hear her being substitute for me. One of the sweet things that I experienced with her at the very end, and I can't remember which one of you girls put it on her, but we were confident that she hadn't had enough music to lead this life. And so the Star Trek Voyager, was that the
Deep Space Nine.
It was Deep Space Nine that was put on her chest from one of the ladies' phones. And I'm confident that that's what sent her off.
Saying, I can do this adventure.
The next day, yes. It was either the next day or very close to that. So I have very, very fond memories of solving world problems with my friend Donna, and I'm delighted to have been involved in all of this. But I want to know the lion story, so somebody's got to tell it.
We've got to use scrapbooks.
Alright, bring a microphone to anyone or anyone else who wants to come up. You want a microphone to you? You'll come on up, come on up.
Chair.
Sorry, make you get your steps.
I've known Donna quite a few years. I got to know her when I worked at RC Willey, and I went out to do a consultation at her home. And then when I was looking at a new home and was moving into the second ward, there was Donna, and I thought, this is it. This is where you can move in. She loved read books, and I did too. And she recommended some really good books to me. And so I took one and went on a vacation and read it. And it's kind of spiritual and kind of mystery. And I came back and I said, Donna, I have more questions since I've read this book. This is kind of, well, it turns out that Chad Daybell wrote the book.
Oh, what?
Donna!
What? We
So I
will
got
not
in the trash.
find
Anyway, she was a great friend. I miss her so much. Anyway, she was a lot of fun.
Anyone else have some murder stories they'd like to share about my mom? Oh, Julie, come on
I
up.
want to say, I shared a lot of books with Donna too. And the summer of '92 was the last summer I had before I started working year-round full-time. And she let me borrow the Clan of the Cave Bear books. There were about 10 of them, and I could read them back to back. And she just would say, if you were pregnant, I wouldn't let you because I had to wait years to read the books. I read them one after another.
She's like, you have no idea how privileged
Yes.
you are. Okay, go ahead.
I'm May Smith. Met Donna like 23 years ago. But great neighbors. They always visit our home, and I love her dearly. I was surprised with the Drysdale book.
That surprised me. Yeah, but I just want to say, one of my favorite phrases from her is that she was sure that in heaven there is chocolate. And that gave me a lot of hope. I leave it to that.
I'm going to be unconventional a little bit and just say a couple of things about Dave. I don't know.
Go for it. We should all do this before everyone dies anyway.
That's right. I remember someone said my funeral will be such a special thing, I hate to miss it by just a few days. Dave was state clerk for how many years, Dave? Oh, about 22. 22 years as a state clerk. Did he serve under, you were in a different state? And it was excellent. He gave me a bunch of papers a while ago to read, some things that he had done that had been interesting, and it was a whole book about David going the extra mile. That's the kind of guy he is. But one thing, because that made it funnier a little bit to me, because you know he's a rocket scientist at MIT, right? Yeah, MIT rocket scientist, kind of top of that field. And one day he was filling out some paperwork for the state, and he needed to write his maiden name. And he didn't know it. He thought about it for a minute. He said, wait a minute, her parents are in the state. I can call them and ask what her maiden name is. I don't know how close he is to making that phone call.
Still welcome anybody else who wants to come up for a microphone. Going one? Oh, yes, come on.
Answering those questions just reminded me of when I first moved in to the Syracuse Second Ward, the calling they gave me was the ward choir director, which I'm not going to go into. It's a little short. But that's how I met Donna, was through Dave, because he would sing the choir. And then after I was released, I think it was a year or two later, Dallin H. Oaks came to our state. And my mom was singing in the choir, and we had to go early to get seats, and I said, Mom, where's Donna up there? She doesn't sing. And she said, she told me that she didn't care if she had to sing really soft so no one could hear her, or if she just had a mouth lip sync. But she was going to be close to the apostle. So I just thought that was kind of cute. She never knew if she could sing or not. But she
No, she didn't.
There you go.
Terrible. In fact, I think there's a you can just lip sync to her.
Yes, there was.
Yes, we didn't have singing skills.
I got one.
Come on, Craig.
It's actually more about Dave than it is Donna. It's, I don't know if I'll ever have this chance again. So, one day we were at choir practice and they called on Dave to say the opening prayer. And I don't know if you know this, but when he prays, he often doesn't close his eyes, right?
Yes.
Or all the time.
Yeah.
And so he was praying and he says in his prayer, Heavenly Father, bless those who are coming to choir practice but haven't gotten here yet. And then he said, oh, there's Scott and Brenda Child.
Again, this is more David, but Donna was a full supporter of David. So he was our home teacher when we first moved here in 1982. That's when we met them. And he always, what I liked about David, he was steady. When he talks about above and beyond, you knew he was going to come. He would say, I want to come the second Sunday every month. I'll just come to plan on the second Sunday. I'd say, make sure to check with us, because if I can get to have dinner with my in-laws or my mom, we'll be there. And so one time it was February 28th. He's been our home teacher for maybe a year or 6 months or something. February 28th. At the end of his prayer, oh, by the way, when he gave a message, He did the MIT version of whatever the home teaching message was. Now think about that. Because it was Dave's version of whatever that was, which was interesting. Enjoyed that. But this day, it was February 28th. I asked him to say the closing prayer. I hadn't figured out that he prayed with his eyes open yet, but it was right after that. He stood up there and he said, and I've never forgotten this, Heavenly Father, I'm sorry I came on the last day of the month, but it's not my fault. Donna supported, not to say one other thing, Donna, when I was bishop, I just loved her lessons, like you said. I loved her lessons. And we had her help us send thank you cards to people when they serve and do different things. She would send a lot of cards. And once in a while, she would say, you should send this one, Bishop. She would write them. She'd wax eloquent and make us look good. It was great. But it was funny because she'd come in and say, we got to do different pictures. We just can't have you on the front of these thank you cards, just, standing there. We got to have you pose you got to clap your hands. You got to give the thumbs up. And the kids would say later, what does thumbs up mean? They didn't know what that meant. But Donna, I just always loved Donna because she loved life. And she was a reader. I know she always recommended books to my wife, and some of them were scary. And we're like, I can't read that. You skip through things, right?
Ooh, give me the list out.
Well, I read the Cave Bear ones, and I thought some of that was shady.
Oh, there were some scandalous moments in those.
But I just want to say, I appreciate these wonderful people and what they've done. They were certainly a wonderful part of the Second Ward. We moved here in '82, and is that when you moved here?
81, the year I was born.
Yeah, I know. I've known them my whole time in Syracuse, and we've loved it. So, anyway, grateful to be with all of you, and especially with you.
Yeah.
We love Donna.
Any other take? You're still welcome to. Anybody? Okay.
I got it.
Yes, come. Oh.
Okay, so I'm Tyler. I moved across the street from Donna about 8 years ago. And Donna actually, she worked at Weber State Bookstore. And my dad worked at Weber State Bookstore. And when I introduced myself to her, I said, my name's Tyler Skank. And she says, oh, who's your dad? And I said, my dad is D. Skank. And my dad, he sits about 5'7". And she looked at my feet, and she looked up at me, and then she looked at my feet again, and she says, are you sure?
Did she say how tall was the mailman?
But my wife and I are where we were the owners of Dwayne, the cat. So Dwayne was our cat.
Are you going to visit him? He's ready.
Yes, we gave some nose bumps. He's bigger than I ever thought he'd ever get. Dwayne actually, we lived over in Canterbury, right behind the Walmart before we moved into the Second Ward. And Dwayne actually found us. He learned how to use our doggy door. And then he was a member of the family instantly. And so we had him there for quite a few years. And then when we moved to the Second Ward, right across from Donna's house, he started just kind of migrating over to the house. And then before we knew it, Dwayne was all day, and then I'd see Dave put him out at night. Well, finally, Donna, she called me up. She's like, Tyler, we need to talk about Dwayne. I was like, sure. And she set an official time and a date, and it was a Tuesday at like 4. So I show up and I go in. She sits down, and she didn't know quite how to say it. I was like, no, I think I know what you're gonna say. Dwayne is your cat. Dwayne is not our cat any longer. You love Dwayne. You have a special bond with Dwayne. I'm glad you have that. Yes, you can take full ownership of Dwayne. And then that's when Dwayne came into her life. But Dwayne was in her life long before she became an official owner. But we love Dwayne, and we love that was a part of her life. Thank you.
Oh my God. Okay, I've never met this. All right, anyone else? Anyone else have an animal my parents kidnapped? You're welcome. Yeah. Okay, we are going to wrap up. We are going to have a closing prayer by Brenda, but afterwards, I just have a couple quick requests. It was a little busy out there at the beginning. We have a photo stop out there that we would really love to get a picture of everyone that's here today. Before you leave, just stop real quick with my mom's rocking chair that my dad talked about and her butter churn antique stuff. Just so we can remember you, and you're more than welcome to take a picture. We'll take a picture with your camera. If you guys are like my friends from growing up, like the Childs or my dentist or something, come and get a picture with me. I just went through a lifetime of pictures putting together the slideshow, and it's the only way I remember things. So come get a picture with me if you knew me growing up. And the one other thing that we didn't talk about is my mom was cremated. We broke her ashes up into, well, we didn't break them, they're just ashes. We scooped them into little containers, and we would love you all to take some. People keep worrying that like we need them for family or something. Like I said, you guys are her family. Take some, this is what they look like. It has her name on one side, it has my email address on the back. We would love you, this doesn't have to go anywhere fancy. You could take her to Hawaii and scatter her ashes there, or you could take her to like the church on Bluff Road where she went to church when I was growing up or something. Anywhere.
Or your flower garden.
Or your flower garden. She would be,
Donna, take her on an adventure.
she would be great fertilizer. Probably.
No, it's not great for
Oh, is it not? Don't put it on the plants you like. So please take some on the way out and scatter them somewhere beautiful, and then just text me a picture and let me know, or email me a picture and let me know where. So please take food home. We have plates for you guys to take chocolate home. We do not want it all. So take a plate of food. There are a lot of office supplies and cards back there. Take those. Come see me and say hi and take some ashes. All right, did you have anything else?
And if you have a story you've written, you can just leave it up here on the podium.
Yep, that's fine, or hand it to one of us. And we love you. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. Brenda, we're clapping for you now. Good job.
Our Father in heaven, we are so very grateful that we could gather here together this day. Family and friends of dear Donna, we are so grateful for her, for the part she played in each of our lives. We're thankful for the things that she taught us, and for the example that she was to us. We are grateful for her family and having this wonderful party and honor her today. We are grateful so much for plan of salvation, that we know that we will be able to see Donna again. We are so very grateful for the time that we have been able to be here today and remember Donna. And we say this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
All right. We're not kicking you out if you want to stay and hang out.
We're actually holding you hostage till you take a plate of chocolate.
Or office supplies.
I want to thank my daughter. I didn't think it would be as good as it is.
So I just last year, so I was like, I have stuff in my office. There you go.